All right, so I want to go over how to organize your files correctly. Um, so your file organization is one of the top things that you need to master. Doesn't matter what class you're in, what specialty you're in. If you can't manage your files, no one is going to hire you. Um, Here is a sample organizational structure, okay? So if I go into this, you'll see that I have my last name, first initial, underscore semester year. So Sarcona S underscore fall 2019. Very obvious whose folder it is, and which semester, and which year it is. So I recommend you create something like that. On the school computers, on Mac computers, there's a save drive that you can save stuff to, or the desktop, if you log in correctly, you can save that to there. On the PCs, there's a P drive, and that's where you would save your stuff on that one. Okay, so on your P drive, I have a fake P drive here. That's where I've created my Sarcona Fall 2019 folder. Now, inside of that folder, I have my class number, so 2510. So if I'm in 2510, I have a 2510 folder. If I'm in 1320, I have a 1320 folder. If I'm in 2540, I have a 2540 folder. It doesn't matter what class number you're in, it's the same thing. You can figure that out. And then inside here, that's where we would actually go through and actually have a project folder. Okay. Now, in some cases, like in 2510, the software folders, or we have to create our own folders for us to stay organized. Okay. And the same thing with 1900, which I didn't put in there. We have to make our own folder structure to stay organized. Okay. For 2520 and 2540, the software will automatically create those for us. 1320, we'd also have to create our own folder organization structure. Regardless of which class it is, it still needs to be organized some way. I have cheat sheets available, and these are just simple things of how to do your external organization. Last name, project name, so Sarcona underscore whatever the project is. And then inside that folder, I would have an artwork folder, an audio folder, a movies folder, an output, a reference, okay? And that's how I would organize my stuff outside of there. So if this is 1900, I would go into my 1900 folder. I would make a new folder called Sarcona underscore whatever my project is. So this is just, let's say, playing around. And then inside that folder, I would have whatever folder these are, artwork, audio, movies, output, and reference. Art, come on, baby. Artwork, audio, movies, reference. I didn't do output yet. There we go. Artwork, audio, movies, output, and reference. Artwork, yep, there you go. So now I have that folder structure set up. So when I save my main file, it's going to go right here. When I save a movie out, it's going to go right there. When I'm bringing movies in, they're going to go into here. When I'm bringing audio in or artwork in, they're going to go into those. Okay, so you need to stay extremely organized. Things like Maya does that organization for us. So these 2520 and 2540 folders are empty, and when we create a project in Maya, it will make the folder structure for us automatically. Okay, Cinema doesn't. We need to do that on our own. After Effects doesn't, and Illustrator or Photoshop doesn't, or Illustrator. But you have to stay organized some way. Now, just so you can see how I keep some of my other stuff organized personally, this is my class assignments folder. So here's a bunch of different class assignments that I have. So things for 1900 I have in here, and here's all my different projects. Okay. So here's my hologram. Here's all my After Effects files. Here's my artwork. Here's any audio I'd need. Here's my movies that I would bring in. Here's the output for where the movie would go. Oops. And then if I had reference, it would be inside there. Same thing with my title cards. If I had reference, it would be there. If I had audio, it would be there, and so on. Okay. 2520. Here's character renders. Just random images. Here's some modeling HDR stuff. Here's where the scenes go. So it's important that you stay organized, because if you're not organized, there's no way that I'm going to know where your stuff is, and you can't open your files, you can't save your files, you can't work in your files, you can't do the assignments if you're constantly struggling with keeping your stuff organized. So keep yourself organized. Now I will tell you that I also have in my folder, where's my P drive? There it is. I also have a resources folder, so I keep things like HDRs here, sound effects here, textures here, different tools, different tutorials, some Video Copilot stuff, and then some random videos, and then these are just brushes and plugins that I've downloaded and just haven't organized yet. So I do have this as a separate folder outside of my main folder. Then I also have samples, which is just samples of different work that I've done. They're completed pieces. So I've maintained my organization. You have to stay organized. When you turn stuff in, if it isn't organized, you get graded down. If I go to your station and you can't find your files, I can't help you. You have to figure that stuff out. Here's the external organization for 2540. You don't need to create those ones. 2510, you need to create these, okay? Maya does create this for us, so it'll automatically do that. Cinema doesn't, so we have to create this, okay? Even inside the software, you'll be organizing as well. So labeling your layers, labeling your objects, labeling your materials, or anything you have needs to be done. In After Effects, here's some internal organization folders that you should use. In Maya, there's no internal organization specifics. There's nothing like you would have inside of After Effects. It's a different beast. You have to figure out how to best organize your stuff. I'll obviously give tips and tricks along the way, ways that I do it. Your job is to find those things and follow along, okay? Close all those tabs. So stay organized. It's very important that you do, to your sanity, to my sanity, to passing the class, to everything.